What's going on, junkies? It's Kenshiro. We're back live with Culture Junkies Live. I'm joined obviously by the man to my right, GQ. How you doing, my brother?
Doing well. As always, I am me, and that makes me better than everything.
Let's go ahead and come back to the old generation. Now that Logan's coming out, this is going to be the end. Patrick Stewart's already said he's not coming back. Hugh Jackman already said this is his last ride. Famke Janssen's already gone. James Marsden, etc., etc. What are you going to remember the most about the original generation?
Honestly, you know, inspired casting with Patrick Stewart. I mean, every single fan cast back from Wizard Magazine had Patrick Stewart as Xavier. Every other character had changes, differences, you know, various suggestions. He was the only one that stayed the same throughout every single one. And it was perfect when they got him. And obviously he showed that he's best, you know, basically the best choice for Xavier. Hugh Jackman, honestly, obviously he's been the character for the past 17 years. Seeing him go from the first movie where it was like, who is this dude? You know, is this like this they just got some guy, you know, had no real musculature to him. Going from that first film all the way till, you know, now recently, it's like, dude, he has completely embodied that character, both physically and just from a sense of, you know, diving into the character. Now, granted, they had the handcuffs on him, basically because of ratings. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Logan. You know, now this, you know, obviously rated R. You know, I mean, like, okay, the introductory movie, that's a lot to tackle. I'll give him his props for the very first film, because it's like, first of all, you have to introduce, you know, human and mutant thing. You have to introduce all of these characters. Yeah, that's not an easy thing to do. I don't care who you are. I don't, you know, it's, and especially at that time, because, you know, the comic book film thing obviously is nowhere near what it was, you know, what it is now back then. So it's like, you know, it was a gamble.
I'm going to lament some of the missteps. I think, you know, one of the big things that they got wrong was the overemphasis on Wolverine. Yes, he's a super popular character, but I think it was at the detriment of almost everybody else. Cyclops, I think, paid the most for this over focus on Wolverine, because even though we kind of got the little conflict between the two of them, it was never really, you know.
And I'm gonna put it on Singer. I mean, because X3 gets you know, dumped on a lot, and deservedly so,
and it deserves it.
But Brett Ratner was kind of dumped that whole setup, that whole plot. It's like Singer, you know, went away to do Superman Returns, but he had already set up and teased the Phoenix at the end of the second film. So it's like you've already gone down this road, and the car's already, you know, going down the road. And yeah, there's a cliff. Yes, there's a cliff coming up, but the director jumped out and left the passenger to take over at the last second before the truck goes off the cliff. So it's like,
that's an interesting analogy. Yeah,
it's the truth though, because it's like, come on.
Yo, junkies, it's Kenshiro. Get hyped, movie junkies. We are in the middle of the best movie month of 2017. March has the dopest lineup of movies by far. Logan last week, this week Kong Skull Island, next week Beauty and the Beast, and then Power Rangers and Ghost in the Shell. It's all so exciting. We can't wait to talk about them. So join us next time on Culture Junkies Live for March Movie Madness.